Yo guys, what is up? It's your boy Snoot, back with some new loot, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Priestess of Mohlon cosmetic set, and we're going to switch the video format up just a little bit today and start with some imagery from the in-game shop. Because once you purchase the set, you lose this forever. The flavor text up here, and the bill of goods, and the price. By the way, this will set you back 25 smackaroos. Let's look at this flavor text and capture it in this video for posterity. Hail to the Serpent Queen. My heart swells with such joy. I struggle for breath. A miracle. Our Queen and God is born. I will tend her nest as she grows and pray I make a worthy sacrifice when she comes of age. Paruthu, Priestess of Mohlon. So you get a full armor set and tattoos, a skin for the dagger, and a skin for the scythe. Let's take a look at this in game. First, I want to point out a very defining characteristic of this set that I haven't heard anyone else talk of. Now, what do I mean? Let's take a look at the crest of this, the colors along the crest as I turn this around. See how they're changing from green to purples and oranges and reds and other colors. It's iridescent. And if you go look at the bottom segments of the cape here and here, and if I turn it around, and also on the legs and everywhere else that you see this material, that it's iridescent. Now, it's doing this because the snakes in the art department at Blizzard are replicating the characteristic of snakes where they don't draw the color from chemicals in their skin like we do, like melanin, for example, but instead the structural composition of the scales reflect off of the light, and depending on what the reflection is when it reaches your eye determines the color, so it appears to be iridescent, and we see that it's true to real life here. So hats off to you guys. And in the art department at Blizzard, this is excellent. I appreciate it, and I'm sure that the reptile aficionados who play Diablo 4 are going to like it too. Now, there are strong motifs, as there are with many sets, and there are the snake's head and the eyes. And the snake's teeth and fangs are everywhere. But let's start here. If I turn it to the side, you can see that above the forehead, you've got a closed snake's mouth. And the head is enclosed within snake's fangs. Here on the neck, you have another snake's head. And if you take these two teeth, which are strategically placed right above the head, they look like horns, as if it were a demon. Right, so that's really cool. And inside of the head, you've got the snake's eye. Along the shoulders, you got snake's heads. And even the tattoos. Let's move down the set a little bit so we can see a little bit more. Here's another snake's eye, heads. We'll get to these. I'm going to talk a little bit more about these later. And on the dagger, here on the back, let's see if I can get closer there for you. Here you got another snake's eye. It looks kind of weird though. It looks kind of skewed, but maybe that's intentional. I'm not sure. You got a couple snakes back here. Okay, and on the tattoos, there's stuff going on here that we'll talk about. Now, this is my character in particular, but I really like how this green plays off against the waxy, pale skin of my character. Your character would be different, but to me, it's like it really, there's harmony between these two. They play off of each other really well and with the rest of the set, so I'm satisfied immediately when I threw this set on. Okay, now let's go back to the head. Now, look at the crown. So unlike the scales that we were looking at down here, this is a more like matte kind of, it's less reflective, and these are static colors. These are not iridescent. This green stays green. This purple above it stays purple. But what's interesting about this is it has this almost this biological, very glossy, almost wet. There's almost moisture there, but of course there's no moisture there, but it has a very biological feel, like a real live snake. So I really appreciate that. And the skeleton bones, the snake bones everywhere. So they meet in the middle here in this decorative silver emblem with more snake scales, and these, of course, these are reticulated. These are the reticulated pattern. They're not imbricate scales. Imbricate are more like roof shingles, so roof shingles overlap. but reticulated scales, they meet at these edges and they form a grid. They lay side by side. They don't overlap. So this is the reticulated style of the scales. But there's another set that I'll be reviewing later that does have the intricate pattern of scales. So that video will come later. I won't spoil it. So let's take a look again at these at the motifs. So we continue down towards the chest. You see that we have a couple more snakes here. But what's interesting about this piece is there is a double and perhaps even triple entendre, if I'm saying that right. This part right here looks like ram's horns, and you know how Blizzard is with their satanic imagery. So this is your Baphomet ram's head right here. Here are the horns. Here's the forehead of the goat. And you can also look at it. If you ignore this part, there's an infinity symbol. So that's really interesting. If we turn this thing around. Now this one in the back, you really can't see that well. And also, so there's a couple more snakes here, but it doesn't have that goat action going on. And in the front, this one is really interesting because here are the snake heads. It looks like an Eldritch Lovecraftian horror, doesn't it? The eye in the middle, and these, if you were to ignore that they were snakes, they look like tentacles. So it's almost like this demonic Eldritch horror, which fits the Necromancer theme very well. Let's continue down. The gloves are awesome because in this reticulated snakeskin, you have these spikes rising off of it, and just the style goes very well together. But I noticed something that's a little bit this cool and unintended. I think it's unintended. If you look at it at this angle, it almost looks like cyberpunk. It almost looks Tron-like. There's this kind of futuristic kind of thing going on here, but maybe that's just me. Now, I'm really in love with the materials. As I said before, the way that the light plays with the scales here is really awesome. But look at the threads in this tassel, the fine threading in the tassel. And you can even see, if you look closely at it, the weave of the tassel is also visible. So it's a high quality. What would be cool is if they kind of flopped around individually, like the threads, but it'd probably be ridiculous to tone that down so it wasn't just, it didn't look bad with the threads slapping against each other and flying all over the place. So on the inside of the arm guard, you have more teeth and leather. And that leather is really high quality itself. It's matte, so the black part, it's not very shiny, but it's very stylish. And here are the rivets holding these sections, these segments of snake skin together. More tassels coming out of the spine here at the bottom. Let's go down further. More bones. Snake bones is a strong theme. And along the boots. You see how poor the lighting is down here? This is why, one of the reasons why I'm changing the format. So let's skip the boots for a moment and take a moment to appreciate what's going on with this scythe here. So the scythe, first of all, has this very cool spike coming out of the handle, but I would like to draw your attention to the teeth. So the fangs of this snake here do double duty. So here's that double entendre again. The crook of the scythe is also the blades along the crook of the scythe are also the snake's fangs. So they're both the fangs of the snakes and the blade of the scythe, and it just works. It's both a snake and a scythe at the same time. I don't know how they did it, and they did it so well. And you can see the design along the blade. It's not just a flat blade. There's etchings that we really can't see. And, oh, there we go. We can zoom in. Look at that. And there is some iridescence along this blade as well. So hats off again. And the color, just the play of colors, I can't imagine how difficult, how much time it took to edit this and lay out these whites and browns and reds like stained blood and what almost looks like rust and age. So yeah, there's a lot of work that went into this. It still doesn't justify the price because it's $26 times the number of people who buy it. And if it's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, yeah, as good as it is, you made your money back thousands of percent over, tens of thousands of percent over, if not even more. Okay, let's hop to our slideshow and let's appreciate those shoes for a moment. So we can see the bones jutting from the shoes, but I want to take another look. I want to take a look at the colors and the segmenting of the boots themselves. So you can see the rivets and the sections that are overlaying each other to create the shape of the boot. And if you take a very close look, you'll see how the snake skin is wrinkled, especially at the top near the toes, along the center of the foot, how it draws together up there. And the colors, it's not just a solid green. It's not iridescent, but it's kind of a leathery multicolor. It's the best way I can describe it. There's greens and browns, and they're kind of they look like colors that were stretched out from an animal skin. I mean, they've done it right. It gives the right impression. Now, I do really like the bones that jut out from the back, from the heel. Not only are they in the front, but on the back, they look very good there. That's a nice touch that they're not just in the front, that they're also in the back. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with this set. Oh, look at that. Look at those colors. All right, let's take a look at the tattoo. Now, before we do that, let's put on the dagger. We want to see the dagger. Okay. Now the neck of the dagger, I was just searching for the word. The neck of the dagger looks like it's emerald. And look at that shininess. Look at that. Look at that sheen off of the crystalline neck of that dagger there. It's really nice. And the colors are convincing. That looks like a jewel or crystal of some sort. As we near the edge of the screen, it gets blurry, so I can't show you everything close up, but that's as good as I can get. It's kind of dinged and chipped in places. It looks worn, like it's been used in many profane rituals, though there isn't any like dried blood or anything going on, but that's okay. And if on the inside of this, here you got the snake's head again, and on the inside, like you got your snake's head here, and on the inside you got the snake's eye. It's unfortunate though that these fine details you can only see and notice from within the wardrobe, but they're there for you to appreciate. All right, let's zoom out and switch the color palette around. One thing before I start to do that is what's really cool is as we switch colors, the eyes change colors as well, so they put that detail in there. So we'll take an extended look at the color palette. Well, let's start with a zoom out. Ooh, purple. I like purple. Blue's good too. Everyone likes red. Ooh, ooh, look at that. Man, man, this is better than I thought. Okay. Nice. All right, let's zoom in. Keep your eye on the eye. Excellent. All right, now let's take a look at the tattoos. Again, I really love how this the waxy white skin, pale white skin of my character here works with the default colors of the tattoo. They're in harmony. The effect is outstanding. Look at that. That parlor and waxiness against this kind of glossy green. It was like they just made this set for this character. I don't know, guys. I guess you're out of luck unless you got a character like mine, because I think I won. I won here. So let's take a look. We're going to zoom in and zoom out. You'll see why. Looking at the colors, as soon as I choose the orange paint, it's like you really start to not be able to see the details, especially this one. The colors are so strong that we lose the details of the tattoo, so we'll zoom in after this. Some of them like this, you can see the details, but not the other one. That's not some of them. Like this one. It's very difficult for me to see. Maybe you can see it. Okay. We'll do a proper turnaround later. Get ready for the day when Blizzard starts selling more colors. They'll probably be $5 a piece, maybe $6. All right, let's get in there. I can't zoom in on the lower half of the body, so I'm sorry, can't do. I think this is an area of improvement that Blizzard can work on, is allowing us more angles of view or free movement of the camera so we can look at these items, because this is the only place you can see them. You can't see them when you're outside in third-person mode. You're too far away, even when you're close. Okay, now let's do a proper turnaround. How you like? You like? That would be $25, please. All right, I'm going to start with the sight. So let's throw that back on. We're going to head outside. Then we'll come back because we're going to hit the training grounds and just to see how it looks in combat. And we're going to see the dagger, so I'll have to come back and switch skins. All right. So another thing I want to show you is the chair, of course. Now, see this? That, my friends, that's premium sit down. That is premium sit down. Look at that. That's chair style. Man, that is not your basic set. When you're in your basic set and you sit down in a chair, Nobody cares. You put this set on, now you talk. Stop and look at this with me. Yeah, look at that. That's a Kodak moment right there. Okay, let's take this bad boy out. Here you are, with the light from the window shining on your awesome set, standing at the jeweler. Make sure you stand at the right angle and in the right lighting. I think this is the best spot right here. Yeah, that's the best spot. Just make sure that your whole body's in view. There you go. There you go. So park yourself right there, and then go make dinner or take a shower or something. And yeah, let the good times roll, baby. And let's go over here. There you are. This could be you. This could be you today. All right, now let's go over to the training ground. Ooh, did it show the transition screen? We've got to see that. It was fast. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. I'll show you the transition screen later by just porting to an area or going into a dungeon. But it's not as good as it could be. So here we go. So on the tip of right here, you get that ethereal scythe come out. When you use the dagger, you can't even see that. It's like completely consumed by the shaft of that fake scythe, that like ghostly scythe that comes out. Let's hope we get a longer transition this time. Yeah, that was way too short. Okay, let's go get the dagger. All right. I wish Blizzard would fix the horse getting stuck on blades of grass and corners. Okay, let's zoom in. And you see the eye very briefly as she puts the dagger back behind her back. And let's turn it around. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can fix our transition screen problem. There we go. It's not a badass pose. It's not menacing. It's not threatening. Meh. They could do a better job with her pose. Now make it look badass. Make it look like the Necromancer's coming for your ass. Alright guys, that's it. That's the set. So yeah, it's going to cost you $25. It's in my rotation right now. I'm not sure if everybody has the same rotation, but if you're into snakes, if you're like a reptile bro, the set's for you. All right, guys, I'll talk to you to the next one.